live. Happy, happy, happy Tuesday. We are back, guys. We are excited about tonight show. We have an amazing guest on this show, and I'm so excited to be representing her and her representing on this show tonight. So are you guys ready? Are you ready?
I'm
Are you
ready,
ready?
girl.
I am looking and I'm looking on social media. So you're going to see me looking, and we are streaming. We are live. Yes, we are. I'm looking on the streaming platform. So if you guys see me over here, welcome to Let's Talk Her Wellness. And we have an amazing guest tonight. We are excited to be on. And we just want to welcome all of you in. Welcome my co-host, Lady J. She is rocking tonight. Lady J, how are you doing tonight, girl?
As usual, I am blessed and highly favored, sister. How are
That's
you?
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm always excited when it comes to Tuesday at this time because we get to do what we love to do. We get to
Uh,
do what we do in a different way. So, we're hands on, we're wellness, but we get to bring it in a different light. We get to bring it, we get to talk about what we are so passionate about, and that is her wellness. And so we welcome you tonight, and we always start with what is in your cup. What are you drinking? And of course, guys, I've been rocking my cup for a second now, and be present, but not perfect. I got another one for y'all next week. So I don't always have the same cup. I like to mix it up. And so tonight I am drinking in this heat. I am drinking my nice lemonade, my old fashioned lemonade from grandmama house. And
yeah,
y'all know what that is with them fresh squeezed lemons.
that's it.
I like to curate my own stuff because I get to handle that sugar. And so we
Mhm.
know that sugar is not our what, guys? It
It's
ain't
not
our
our
friend.
friend. Not
So
our
guess
friend.
what? I am loving my drink because I'm gonna be sipping tonight because our special guest, she brings it, honey. She brings it. And I'm gonna be sipping, and I have my notes. So another thing we ask you guys to do is go get your notebook, go get your pen, and take some amazing notes. Because I'm telling you, the right information can change and save your life. Like and share, like and share, like and share this post as we get ready to go in. But before we do that, I'm going to give you guys a moment to go grab your notebook, go get your tea or your drink that you're drinking. Come on back, like and share, tell your mom and them, tell Aunt Pat, tell everybody, go get your cousins and everybody, and like and share this post. Okay. And so, Lady J, tell me what's in your cup. Tell me what's in your cup, girl.
Well, my cup always runneth over. And today it's running over with just a sense of peace. I have to have some peace inside of my cup because it's been one of those moments. So,
Yes.
but it says that peace be still. So I had to be
Mm.
still
Yes.
and let that peace be still. So in my physical cup, and that, that was in my spiritual cup, but in my physical cup, it runneth over with coconut water,
I
in
love it.
addition to pineapple juice. So
I
I'm
love
giving myself a two-pack regimen of
it.
electrolytes,
Yes.
helping with potassium.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of benefit that pineapple juice offers that will help with, gut health. So I'm making sure that as I'm drinking, I'm not drinking empty calories or empty products. I'm consuming things from the earth because we know The body is mostly made of water, just like the globe itself is mostly made of water. And we have to take care of our bodies by
Yes, we
giving it
do.
the
Mhm.
right kind of hydration. So cheers, everyone. I got a little fancy today. I decided to use my martini glass that has a little special gold stem. You know how us queens do it. Because
That's
today I'm
right.
keeping it sassy. I'm keeping it sassy
Oh,
today.
listen. All I know is that keeping it sassy, one of those t-shirts is going to be delivered to my house. So I'll be looking for that in the mail.
Lovely. Absolutely.
So come on, Miss Bucci. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep it real, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real. Her name is Carmen Seldon Scott, but she is my Bucci. So Bucci, what are you drinking in your cup, love?
Fresh squeezed lemon.
Woo!
My lemonade.
You can't go wrong with that.
No, I have it every evening. I have it in the morning and then I have it in the evening.
And
So
which is
this is my
amazing.
choice of my drink this
I
evening.
love that. And that's a powerful drink because
Mhm.
that drink cuts
Mhm.
fat. So that's why she ain't got no gut. Y'all see, y'all have to see her. She is definitely cut like a diamond. But I am going to get into, guys, our
Mhm.
amazing topic. I love this topic that we chose tonight. But
Mhm.
guys, I want to let me pull it up, you know, give us some grace tonight because when something's great going forth, all kinds of things want to pop up and act wrong, but we're not going to
Absolutely.
give it
Absolutely.
no, it gets no glory over here tonight. So
Yeah.
guys, you bear with us when you talking about internet. The internet can do what it want when it wants
Mhm.
to, and
Mhm.
so we know how to work around that, right? And so we're talking about an amazing topic tonight. And that topic is called creative product development. And we are going to break that down to you as to what that means and why it is so important, to and for your wellness. But before I do that, I have got to introduce Miss Carmen Seldon Scott, a legacy of creativity and empowerment. For over 30 years, Miss Carmen Seldon Scott has been a distinguished professional interior decorator and a seamstress, transforming spaces and lives with her unparalleled expertise. And when I say unparalleled expertise, anybody know Miss Bucci, you know that her products is amazing. And I love it because it is different and you are not going to find it anywhere. Did I
Mhm.
say not anywhere? Not anywhere. And she transforms spaces and lives with her unparalleled expertise as the owner of a renowned gallery, Unique Boochi. That's the name of her business. And guys, we will put links and we will put information on how you can contact her in our chat. So don't worry about that. We got you covered. As the owner, Carmen showcases her phenomenal products crafted with meticulous attention to detail and a deep love for textiles. I love textiles myself. Oh my God. Her passion for design extends beyond her creation. She has taught sewing lessons and frequently participates in vending at conventions and shows all over. Guys, I was somewhere one day and guess where she was? She was right there.
I'm
She was
back.
She's back. She was right there. And so she shares her vast knowledge and inspiring others. A fervent advocate for women in business, Carmen is dedicated to helping them succeed, imparting wisdom and support with unwavering enthusiasm. Her journey is a testament to her creativity, commitment, and compassion. And that is who she is. And we are excited to have her on the show. So, guys, again, as we pop in and pop out, I don't know in some of you's areas, but some of us are getting a storm. And so you may see us going in and out, but that's okay because we are going to keep it
That's
moving.
fine.
But I would love to, we're going to ask Miss Carmen some questions, guys. You can also, in your chat, if you have any questions that you would love to ask Miss Boochi about her products, guys. As a matter of fact, I am wearing tonight some of my favorite earrings
Love it,
by
love it, love it.
Miss Carmen. I'm telling you guys, she is incredible. I was at an event not too long ago in a Mercer County park where she was vending, and I did a reel on her. I was recording her. And guys, that reel is over 60,000 K views of her dancing and turning around and showing off her product.
Can
Her
you say viral?
viral. That social media, that picture, that reel went viral. And it is, can you believe it? Can you believe it? It is still climbing. It
Wow.
is still climbing. So that is just phenomenal. But when we talk about creative product development, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that vend, and you have products. But I guarantee you, Jay, how many people connect your vending and your product to wellness? We're talking about creativity here and how creativity really does boost, reduce stress. It enhances, because when you're being creative, that is so relaxing. It is so, you are challenging your mind, you are challenging your thinking, and it gives you an opportunity not to focus on problems and issues and just, you are in one, it's like you're in one with yourself. You're in tune with yourself. And I know as a creator myself, people often ask me, what do you do for, you know, relaxation? And I tell them, I like to create jewelry. As long as I am creating, I feel like that's my place where, when I want to come out of the world, when I want to close down the noise, when I need to think, when I need to gather my thoughts, I go into my sanctuary and I create. And the blessing to that is, and I know Miss Bucci could relate to this, when you are out there and you are selling product, because it is one thing to sell your product, but it is a whole nother thing when you make it, when you create it, and see those happy faces and see those women or those men buy your product and they are so in love with your product. So Miss Carmen, she's been in business for over 30 years. We asked her a question. What are the secrets to your success?
The secret to my success is not giving up. It's
Mm-hmm.
a continual thing. I
Mhm.
started out making crowns, and here I am in multiple categories of product line.
Wow. 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 I love that. And what was that start like for you? Because you and I
It was
talk.
exciting. It was beyond, I was so excited. My first product was the Royal Crowns.
Mm,
I saw Queen Latifah on television. She was rapping back in the 80s about this royal crown. And I
mm,
was like, wow, I can do that.
mm-hmm,
I ran over to African People's Action School. I talked to Mama Dino and Mama Pat and all the sisters there. And I asked them what is this royal crown? And they educated me. So
mm-hmm.
I started in on producing open crowns. Then I
Wow.
went from open crowns to a crown period. I just kept designing and producing, and they were selling like hotcakes. I couldn't believe it. But
Wow.
in any event, once the women were out there wearing them, I remember a time my brother in law, J.R. Smith, he was a photographer, and we would always come together because I would either do a wedding party and he would be the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
We would go to the weddings, and women would have all would actually be wearing the crowns. So I'd go up
Mm,
to them and I say, wow, who created that marvelous crown you have on? They had no idea who I was.
wow. Wow.
They had no idea who I was. I said, well, that's a Boochi's crown, and
Yeah.
I'm Boochi.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
amazing.
to be honest with you, the crown was my first real product. I mean, as a teenager, I started sewing at 12 years old.
Yeah.
At 14, I did my first fashion show for the Wayne Avenue Baptist Church Tea Party.
Mm,
I was just creating clothing for me and my friends.
wow.
And it just evolved from one thing to another from a teenager. Mrs. Mason
Mm-hmm.
actually asked me to cover a Chase Lounge chair. And I said, I don't know, Miss Mason. She said, you can do it. I went and
Wow.
covered the lady's Chase Lounge chair.
Wow.
That was my first piece of furniture. And I must have been about 16.
Wow.
And when I see Miss Mason, she reminds me of her Chase Lounge, which is a
Mm.
marvelous thing. And she is still alive. Yes, yes.
Wow. That is amazing. And I'm telling you, when I whenever I go, because when I tell you Miss Bucci travels all over,
Mm.
she shuts it down from New York to Newark to Philly to DC, Washington. I mean, she's all
I've been at
over.
the ATL too.
Yes, and the ATL. She's everywhere. I went to see a Alan Illy show in Newark, and she was there. She shut that place down. And I absolutely love everything. First of all, I'm just in awe of just her designs. And but the furniture, oh my God, the furniture, the rugs, you name it. It's just amazing. And I love it because I love this her space. We do a segment called Her Space,
Mhm,
and it's about, decorating and designing
mhm,
your sanctuary. I think that every woman should have an area in her home
mhm,
that it's just decorated and it's just sacred for you. Whether you go and sit in this room, my mother has her sitting space.
mhm,
And I told my mother, I said, you decorate this room and you make it your space. She goes in there, she prays in that room. I
mhm,
have my places and spaces in my home. And, I'm a sayings person and I have sayings everywhere because we have to remind ourselves as women, you
mhm,
know, um, that's our affirmation. You know, when people come into my home, it's almost like they're in an art gallery. And
Mhm.
because everywhere they go, in every space in the house, there is a saying. And I choose powerful sayings because I want you to think. Whenever they come out of a bathroom, whenever they come out of a space, I'm looking at them and they're like in a daze, and I'm saying, what's up? They say, no, I'm just thinking about that saying that you got down there in that bathroom. You know, it is what it is, but it will be what you say it'll be. You know, these are words that we use and we say them just casually, but they really do mean something. And so we asked you, how do you empower yourself and the women around you?
Hmm. By sharing my craft, and perhaps they're sharing their craft with me, and we can come together and decide what we can do beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we empower each other by not tweaking, but suggesting new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I may see something one way and you see it another. But when we come together and we pull it together, it can be an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, in, in light of empowering each other, we just lift each other up in that which we do. You need help in something, you need research. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we we have connections. We connect each other to whatever it is that you may need, for your project or your products. And that way we really empower each other that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I surround myself with women that are about doing, that are about producing and putting it out there and see what could come back. So lifting each other up is the thing, and staying in contact with one another. And there's several women I talk to on a day-to-day basis, and we're always trying to figure out how we can make something different.
I love that. I love that. And that is so important when we talk about creative product
Mhm.
development. You know, the wellness uh one of the wellness tips is that creative product development helps with mental health.
Mhm.
So when you are creative, and I love what this says, creative activities reduces stress and anxiety, and it improves your mood and overall mental well-being.
Mhm.
So when you are creating, no matter what it is, whether you're drawing,
Mhm.
you know, being creative, some people may say, well, I'm not creative. I don't have a gift. There is something that you do.
Mhm.
There is something, and if you have not found that creativity, I love after the pandemic. I want to say more after the pandemic. I don't know, and Lady J, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it came on the scene before COVID. I want to say I start seeing it a little after COVID, but when they go to sip and paint,
Mhm.
you know, being able to get involved, whether it's dancing, that's a
Mhm.
creative art. Whether it's sewing, that's the creative art. Painting, drawing, singing, whatever it is, you have to massage your creative side of you.
Mhm.
Because when you are creating, you know, that puts you in a whole mindset, a
Yeah.
whole different space.
Mhm.
Because I have always said my brothers were the artists. not me. I've always been on the business side of it, and I always been in the health and wellness space. But it wasn't until I tapped into, always been good with my hands, and I like creating. And when I start to design earrings, and I'm like you, Boochie, when I started designing my earrings, I went into it with a mindset that, I had shaved all my hair off. When my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer, I wanted to do something with women, you know, um, when they go through that process of cutting off their hair, because a woman's hair is her crown. And so I thought, hey, it is nothing like seeing a woman with her hair shaved and she got on a bad pair of earrings. You know, talk about spark it up. And when she wraps her hair, I'm telling you, that is just the most, I think, elegant, super fly look, because I'm a 70s baby.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's the most amazing look. And so, I started to create what I wanted to wear. And so when I start doing that, I mean, I was getting hits from everywhere. People wanted this jewelry. And so I'm just like, oh my God. And every piece that I make and everything that I create, I sit back and I say to myself, wow, Lynette, this was in you all the time. You were saying you wasn't an artist, but really you were. We just have it and we just do it in different way. So you challenge yourself, and start doing some creative things, and really, really, you'll find that it really is soothing to your mental health. So, Bucci, what motivates you?
What motivates me, to be honest with you, are textiles. I I
Mm,
I purchase
colors.
them, I look at them, and I say, okay, what can we do different with this piece?
Mm, mm,
Um, Sometimes I look at the fashion trends and I say, I'm going to put a twist on all that.
mm-hmm,
So that's what I do. I make
mm,
sure that I'm outside of what's out there, and I'm going to
mm-hmm.
bring it to you in a whole different light and form.
Right,
And I
right.
enjoy that so much because I feel that we're all unique individuals. We shouldn't look the same.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I think we should, and I create things because I sometimes, like when I'm out, for example, and a person will come up to me, a young lady will come up to me and say, I'm a size 12. Well, this is what we have in your size range. And I may purposely pull something out and tell them, this will work for you. Oh, that's not going to fit. Try it. They try it, and it's the perfect piece for them.
yeah.
So, it's that, I guess, in the knowing that colors matter,
Oh,
skin
colors.
tone,
Yeah,
your complexion matters,
yes.
hair color. And a lot of times it's your personality that turns me on. So if you have personality, I could take you straight to my rack and show you a zillion pieces that, girl, you could work that.
Yes, because you have the attitude, and because when you're out there, that music is going and we're dancing, and you are not only just
It's
do
the
you have,
engagement. For me, it's really
yes,
engaging with that audience. I can see the excitement even in their eyes just coming up to the booth.
yeah,
So all of
yeah,
those things, come into play when I'm out. I pay
yeah.
attention to everything walking.
I love that, and it's so important because not only are you selling a product, but you're engaging with your clients and they feel seen, because everybody wants to feel seen.
Mhm.
And when you say, you know, when you say to them, you can fit that, that to a woman, especially because no matter how small, no matter how
That's
medium,
right.
no matter how what you are, I've
Mhm.
seen the smallest woman say, "Oh no, I'm bloated, or I can't fit that. I'm too fat." I'm like, "Are you serious?
Really.
Like, what you see?" Because I gotta pull my glasses down because I don't see that. And so you're that expert, and
I
not
can
only
see body. What it is I see body form, I see hair color, I see skin tone, and I'm like, wow, that would look just fabulous on her. You know, so I
yes.
can kind of pick somebody out of the audience and say, okay, try this. They will take
Mm,
it home with them when I once we're done. It goes home.
it's gone. It's
It's
gone off
gone.
that rack.
And then
And
and then other women will come back and say, well, what happened? I was like, hey,
you got to get it while you, because
gotta
it's one
get
of
it
a
while it's there.
kind,
Yes,
and you have
because
to
they
get it.
are basically one of a kind pieces. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So then we go on to, we
Mhm,
covered we covered mental health
mhm,
that creative product development help with, and
mhm,
we covered physical health benefits. So physical health, how does physical health, how does creative product help with physical health? It, sewing, arranging furniture, working with materials, it can
oh yeah.
improve physical health. So,
Mhm,
your workspace, it reduces,
mhm,
when you create your workspace and you
mhm,
design that workspace. For
mhm.
some of us, that people that have back pain, there are things that you can do. You can go to Boochi, you can have your favorite chair,
Mhm,
perhaps
mhm,
your favorite chair has a hole in it or something, but you're drawn to this favorite chair. Perhaps this chair was your grandmother's, so
mhm,
it has some sentimental value to you,
mhm.
but you can always fix up, change the textiles,
Right.
you can paint it, there's always things that you can do in this creative development space,
Mhm,
to help your body, help your
mhm,
mental. Like when you
mhm.
talk about the textiles and the colors are so fabulous,
Yeah.
because when you understand what yellow mean,
Mhm,
what red mean,
mhm,
it will literally blow your
mhm,
mind when we talk
mhm,
about advertising, when you're talking about marketing, and that's
mhm,
another baby. But
mhm.
you see McDonald's and all of the Burger Kings and things like that. They use yellows and reds. They
Right.
use these things because they know that the yellows and the reds in
Awesome.
your brain,
Mhm,
it goes off, and it says, I'm hungry now. You notice that when you're looking at TV, this at certain times of nights, and these ads, and they come on at certain times,
mhm.
and you'll see them a lot. You'll see them a lot. And then you look at it so much, you start to say, you know what? I'm hungry. I think I'm going to go downstairs and get a snack, because your brain
Yes.
has seen, they know really at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, really, really, I want to advertise this time of night, because I
Mhm,
really want to drive, because they know that McDonald's and Burger King still open that time of night. So if you really, 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 and they keep looking at this TV, somebody gonna be driving down. You know what? I have got to go get me some of them fries down at Burger King, or and they get out and they make their most sales that time of night, because they
mhm.
using colors.
Right.
So when we know the coloring and what the colors represent, that
Mhm.
drives sales. So creative product development is connected so much. And that's why we were excited to do this segment tonight, because we love to show people how to connect the dots, how to connect the dots and just how we flow. But, Bucci, I was loving a story that you told when you talked about, sewing class. I talked about sewing classes because my grandmother was a seamstress. And one of the things that she said, before she passed away, she said, I wish that one of my granddaughters would have learned how to sew. And so now I'm at age 54, wanting to learn how to sew. And
Well, sewing actually has become a lost art.
yes,
There's not enough. There's not enough of us out creating within our own home. We were taught at school.
we got cut off, but that's okay. We're going to keep on going in that creative product development, because creative product, it is so important, Jay, for us to be creative. It is so important for us to develop something, where we can be most creative, because when you're in that creative space, you know, talk about, again, reducing that stress. I really, really, really love that. And one of our number three tips was cognitive benefits of innovation. And so it says that being creative boosts effects of engaging in complex design projects. So it has a boosting effect. Then, it boosts your morale. It boosts you. It really gets you going, you know. And I tell you, there's a science to being creative as well. Um, when you are when you are
I'm back.
being being creative, I tell people, there are times where you will hear artists say that they have creative block. There's a time where if you're not in the right space, and that's why your sanctuary, that's why your home is so important, because if if you are under a lot of stress and things of that nature, the creativity, Bucci, can you even speak to this? It won't even come.
There have
There
been
are
times
times where,
that has happened to me, and a lot of times I think I overthink. I have too much going on in my head. So I
yeah,
have to back off of stuff. I'll start working on like patchwork, and I'll do a piece and then I have to back off it because I want to come back to it with a whole fresh new idea or
yeah,
another way of moving that patchwork. And that's important. That's like an artist, they started drawing. They don't stick with it until until completion. A good artist is going to back off of it and then come back with maybe some fresh ideas.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
And
that's basically that's how I do. When it's not working, I have to back off of it.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
your best bet is to let it go,
yeah.
move on, maybe do something else, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
come back to it with some fresh new ideas.
That is so important, because I know, like, sometimes I'll back off of it, and
Mhm.
sometimes it depends on what's going on. Sometimes I can't go to it. Sometimes I won't design for a month.
Mm.
I've even gone longer than that, because the creativity, is not coming to me. And
Mhm.
I've tried it. I've tried to go in my space,
Mhm.
And I've tried to sit down and I tried to create something and it just will not come to me. It will not come to me. And I know a lot of artists, perhaps some artists may be looking, but it can't come to me. It will not come to me. And there's times where I've had to say, you know what, back off. Just come back later and just try it again. And that's why it's so important too,
Mhm.
to network. And
Mhm.
it's so important to go on vacation
Mhm.
and so that you give yourself, number one, a break,
Yep.
and also too to learn other culture and to
Yeah.
because you know what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
when you get out and you are exploring and everything, all of them creative juices
That's
now
right.
is going. It's like, oh my God, you can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to get back home
Um,
and design. And what I start doing too is I started, I journal anyway, but I
mhm.
also started getting sketchbooks and
Mhm.
I just start sketching my designs,
Mhm.
because as it come in my head, I'm like, wow, this is new
Mhm.
because I'm not an artist, so I don't draw. So, but I've been able to sketch my designs, but you don't know that when you travel and when you get out and when you network, how different things inspire you.
Yes.
You know, they inspire you. What what
Mhm.
what, what do you say, Jay? What's your thoughts?
Well, as I was listening, we talk about being creative, but we all come from the creator.
Yes.
And
That's right. That's right.
he poured
Yeah.
so much into each one of us.
Mhm.
Immediately I began to think about how has your journey been with having so much that God has poured in you relating to other people?
It's been amazing. Oh my God. It's
Mhm.
been amazing. It really has because I know God has given me so many talents. I could be pulled in so many different directions.
Wow.
He's given me such talent. Sometimes
Mhm.
I think to myself, God, thank you for everything. And sometimes I tell God I'm overwhelmed,
Right.
but I
Wow.
can but I can handle it. I,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
I'm a vocalist. I sing. I can do neo soul spoken word. He's given me so much. And when I'm called upon, I say, my thought is, you're going to do it because that's a talent God gave you. He
Yeah.
gave that to you. So don't sit on your talent. Any talent you have, utilize it. If you're called upon to to do something and you have that talent deep down in the pit of the gut of your stomach, get
Yeah.
up and do it.
But
That's what I say.
how would you say that
Mhm.
you would bring that? How do we bring that out? So there's people who are listening to the podcast now who
Okay.
maybe feel that sense of creative flow or something that God has put inside of them.
Hmm.
Tell us what is your way of how you unlocked all of that? How did you begin to unlock it?
By research, whatever it is that I want to do, we have to learn to research.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
number one. We
I
have to
love.
read, lots of reading.
Yeah.
Then you think about what do I have to contribute to it?
Yeah.
Mm,
I like that. I
Like
like
what
that.
do I have? What are some of the good things that I have? It's like
Mhm.
you're balancing a scale. So the things that you're good at versus I'm not sure, then you're going to research that I'm not sure. And the other, you're just going to pull that together. And once you pull that together, I think that you're almost able to create anything. Well, that's
Mhm.
for me, I should say.
wow.
Mhm.
It sounds like as I listen,
Mm-hmm.
that the confidence that you have that you display, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a ministry. It sounds like what
Yes,
you
it
do
is.
is a
Yes.
Mhm.
ministry. Would you agree that this is a ministry, that the purpose that God has put into you to heal people through your creative flow?
Yes. For example, I worked with a group of guys for 5 years in the youth detention center.
Mhm.
Then I worked with a group of girls over a summer program that I had put together when I had my gallery downtown Trenton.
Mhm.
And the guys were awesome. I told them all, you're tailors. I took them through
Mm.
the process of my program, which was called Patterns for a New Lifestyle. And I taught them every element of design. They
Wow.
started off with the machines. They had to learn every part of the machine, how it operated, and how to troubleshoot the machine.
Wow.
They passed with flying colors. I couldn't
Mm.
believe it. Then they had to check in with the judge, and the judge asked them, "You guys are passing your urinalysis test. What's going on?" They said, "It's because of Mama Boo." They called me Mama Boo. But what it
Healing
was,
our community. Wow. Healing
yes,
our
I,
community.
I, I, I felt that, okay, what I did was I gained their trust. And
Mm,
within that trust, they were learning to trust the process of that which I was teaching them, which was it's clean across the board, and every element of life is a process. Everything in life is a process. So I was teaching them stuff that I didn't even know that I was really teaching them. I had a
Wow.
friend of mine, Gordon Good, and he was standing outside my classroom uh, door, and he was looking in, and he said, he knocked on the door like 20 minutes later. He was like, I've been out here for about 20 minutes. Do you know what you're doing? Oh my God, you're phenomenal. You went from that to this to this to that. You got him straight, you got him straight, and you got him straight. What I'm saying is, I don't care where you're from, your backgrounds, your
Mhm.
situations, you can always change it. And in art, through art, these guys were soaring. I just,
wow. Wow.
Wow.
As
the
I
young ladies,
listen,
they couldn't wait. At the end of our program, they were,
yeah,
okay, Mama Boo, what we gonna do next?
Mhm.
that's what I was going to ask you.
So
As I
so
listen,
she was boosting morale.
yeah,
You
yeah.
I
Some
was,
of
you were doing emotional and social well-being.
yes, I was.
So
Yeah.
those are the things that you were doing
Mm-hmm.
and not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're talking about here, creative product development.
Yes.
So you were working on that mental health. You were
Yeah.
stimulating the creativity side,
Mm-hmm.
so you
Mm-hmm.
was boosting morale. You
Yes.
was, that's incredible.
That was a wonderful experience. It really was, because I knew that I had helped somebody along the way to see life in another way. You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
the judge had actually asked me, "What am I doing?" I actually told her, "What I suggest you folks do is put these kids in front of uh, uh, those of their own culture, that folks that are evolving, people, evolving, those that are we can raise a village up, from every culture."
Mhm.
wow, that sounds
It is
like
something that it
activism. Is that
yes,
activism? Keep me
yes,
honest. Was that civic activism through creativity? Like
yes,
it sounds like that you were empowering these children,
yes, I
and we
did.
don't know their backgrounds, but you were
Nope.
showing them something that they may have not had which is someone that took an interest in them in
And
healing
I
our
did.
community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And through through both programs, I was healing. I was taking off layers like an onion, taking off
Yeah,
those layers and showing them a new way in the world, you
yeah,
know?
that's
So
good.
it was very powerful, and it is something that I would love to continue to do.
Yes. And
I'll
that
figure
is
that.
through
We'll
the
figure that
art
out.
of being creative.
Yes.
And again, when you are in your creative element and
Mhm.
when you are changing lives through your products and services,
Mhm.
it is life changing. So it's not just selling clothes to you,
No.
you make these clothes. And I like the fact that I make clothes and I
Mhm.
get to share with people
Yeah.
culture, you know. So
Yeah.
it's not just selling or designing interior,
Mhm.
you know, it's not just working with textiles. It's all of these things are connected to
Yeah.
us mentally,
Mhm.
physically,
Mhm.
socially, and spiritually, you know.
Mhm.
And so when you and don't even put passion on top of it, you know, like you have a passion
Mhm.
for what it is that you do. And when you take and package that all up, that is a heck of a package.
It has been, but it's my life and I love it. And I'm just so grateful that I experienced all of that. And I'll continue until my last day. That's how I feel.
And
The
and
art
and
is a
and, and
very,
we cannot leave out one most important thing
mhm,
because we see you out there on the front line,
mhm,
but we do wellness together. And what do
mhm.
I mean by that? Because we have Mr. Seldon, you and your husband. They
Yes.
are a team. They are an incredible team. And, you know, when I see her, I don't see Bucci without seeing Mr. Scott. You
He's
don't
my
see her.
he's my biggest fan.
That's right.
He
When you
always
see
has
her,
been. Yes.
you see the husband. And that also, that's another live because, you know, I get, how do you and your husband work together? Oh, we work together and we work together very well because it says teamwork make the dream work.
Make the
But
dream work.
that's a whole conversation because, you
Mhm.
know, and that's a serious conversation because I get that everywhere I go. How do you and your husband work together? Y'all don't get tired of one another. Y'all don't know because we're doing something that God has called us to do
Yes, together.
and we do it
Together.
together.
Yes.
And so you're doing why you're trying on because I've come to your booth where there's lines and people are waiting in line and they're asking questions and this and that. She's working one end and her husband, Mr. Scott, is working the total another end and he's got it core inside and he does it to her liking.
Yes.
I just love that. You guys just blend. You just blend together. And that is a testimony. That is a inspiration to married couples.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You guys really do work unique Bucci brand. You guys work it.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
You
Yes,
truly
we
are
do.
amazing behind the brand.
Well, when you've been with a person for about and I'd say we dated for 18 years and we've been married for almost 12.
Wow.
So he's when he was in college, he was in the arts as well. My husband
Mm.
is a professional dancer. He went abroad.
Wow.
He went to Howard.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
uh, yeah,
Well,
yes.
I'm sure
I
if he was
never,
here,
I
he would say
never.
HU for Howard. You know, all the Howard folks are always like, HU?
That is something else because I
Oh,
never knew that he danced. I love dancing art. I love everything there is about dance. You know, I always wanted to be a professional ballet dancer. That was one of my loves, you know, and so that's why that day you saw me, I was going to see Alan Ely dance, and I saw you at what was that? What was the name of that convention center there? Did she freeze?
I think she may be sister.
Mm-hmm. But we talk about creative product development, Jay, and it is it is just so wide. The topic is so wide of how it's so important, um the creativity, because God designed us to be creative. I mean, we serve a creative God. For
Absolutely.
him to design this world, you know, that's why when you travel, you know, it always amazed me how you know what it looked like where you live, and then you go on another side of the world and you see all of its beauty and splendor. You know, you say, God, man, you are so creative. So we came from that, you know, it's in our blood and DNA. And so how does being creative help with our wellness? And I think that when you talk about depression, when you talk about anxiety, when you talk about these things, I get a sense that a lot of people haven't tapped into their creativity. And when you tap into your creativity and what you add to the table and what you bring to the table, I think that that's why it says it reduces stress. You know, when you're being creative, it reduces anxiety. You know, when I'm in my creative space, I don't have any anxiety. I don't have, there's no time for me to be depressed because I'm creating. I'm being creative, you know. And as you're being creative, you have the opportunity to teach somebody else. You have an opportunity to teach what you know. And so that's what I love about, you know, Miss Bucci, because she gets a chance to teach what she know. And when she talks about the different programs that she taught, you know, teaching through sewing lessons, you know, teaching through when she had the gallery downtown Trenton, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew about it. It was so amazing to go into. I looked forward to going into her gallery. Whenever I walked in there, I was in awe of all the pictures and just all of the creative things that she came up with, you know. It was such a blessing. And I've always been inspired by her art, her artistry, and just her love and her passion, her and her husband, and so I'm just so grateful to have her, on the show tonight. And it's just been incredible just having this discussion. I'm so grateful. We're so grateful for our guests, and just we just pray that you guys are getting that this show, Let's Talk Her Wellness, is truly blessing and inspiring you. We are here every Tuesday at from 7 to 8 p.m. We want you guys to continue to tune in. We have some amazing, amazing segments coming up. We have some amazing um, professional uh, practitioners coming on, that's signing on. And we are so excited to bring that to you. And so that's why we say every Tuesday, bring your Let's Talk Her Wellness Journal, bring your tea, and bring your friends. Because truly, Jay, like we said, the right information, it could change your life, it can save your life. And I have seen that in my years of being a practitioner. I've seen information change people's life, because when you know better, you do better, you feel better, you look better, and so I love that. Jay, what's your closing remarks for tonight?
Hmm. Well, we started off simply talking about wellness and creativity. I think simply the message really is for people to find what offers them a sense of solace, a sense of peace. And I know that Bucci was blessed to have the ability to have so much talent poured in
Mm-hmm.
to her, but everyone God gave something special.
Yeah.
So my charge to all of our listeners is find what works for you. My daughter is a colorer. She likes to color. That offers her some creativity by sitting and focusing. As
Mm-hmm.
we begin to be caretakers of our own wellness and practitioners, it it doesn't have to be something as big as someone else's creative flow and creative talent.
Mm-hmm.
What works for you. That's what I want to charge to everyone. Find
Yeah.
what works for you. And when
Mm-hmm.
you find that, you honor that. You
Yeah.
you consider how vital and important that it is
Mm-hmm.
to impact your health and well-being. Because
Yeah.
as you are healthy and you're able to manage stress, you're able to glean a moment that's that's only about you. Because as individuals, we oftentimes are considerate and so thoughtful about other people, we forget to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
My prescription to each person that I and we have an opportunity to impact our DNA footprint is practice wellness and well-being,
Yeah.
whatever creative way that you do it, respect it and teach others to respect what you need and love it, love and lean into it because
Yeah.
you have one life to live and you need to live it as best as you can and as well as you can.
Yes, I really, really like that. I absolutely love that, taking care of you, because oftentimes, as women, men too, especially in business, so much of our business, you know, is taking care of other people, so you have a, I want to ask the question tonight, and I want to leave you with this thought. You know, how much, because we got 100%, and out of that 100%, how much is that percentage taking care of others? Is it 80, you 20? Is it 95 and you 5? Because a lot, and I've seen that, a lot is taking care of people, and you're this percentage, you know? And so we want you to be well. God wants you to be well in every area of your life. And that is the mental, the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, the financial. You can't do one without the other. They all go together. They all go together. You can't take one and say, "Oh, I'll do this one," or "I'll take this, I'll take these two." No, because if you are not well in one area of your life or two area of your life, it affects your whole life. You know, if you are not well relationally, if you got a lot of turmoil in your relationships, whether it's love, whether it's your family, whether it's whatever it is, if you got a lot of turmoil over there, that's going to take your health off. you
Absolutely.
know High blood pressure,
Mhm.
heart disease. That's something that we want to talk about when we talk about heart disease. The disease, your heart is diseased because your relationships are diseased. And so, if your finances are diseased, that's heart disease. That's mental emotional stress. You
Yep.
can't focus. You're on edge all the time. So I am really glad that we are having this discussion. I'm really glad for this platform of Let's Talk Her Wellness, because we want to talk about it. We don't want to cover it up anymore. We want to talk about those real life issues that plague us, because once again, it is time for you to be well, not in just some areas of your life, but in all areas. And we're going to be bringing on the professionals that can help guide you. So that's why it's important that you show up with your notebook. Like they say, like our pastor, Dr. Darius Daniel said, for all my note takers out there,
That's right.
because your notes, a note taker, a note taker, listen, you got to capture that. You got to capture that essence, because you're going to go back to it and reference.
I I
So
agree.
you
When
guys,
when I was listening to you, and I know we're about to close out,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think the immediate thought that I had is when I'm carrying so many burdens, like, and I'm sure that there's somebody who feels this way. How do I tap into my creative flow
right.
when when my because there's an intersection if you allow for it. But I think
Hmm.
so many people, they may have a disharmony within their synergy of their life that it's hard to focus on being creative. And I know you all talked about having those blocks, but I feel that many people are having life blocks,
Oh,
not
yes.
creative blocks, but a
Yeah,
life block
yeah,
that is
yeah.
getting in a way that's preventing them from
From,
being able to open up to
yeah.
even invite creativity or to learn
Hmm.
how to do creative things or to give themselves permission to say that I can unplug from being a person that's having to do it all and just simply sitting in a gleeful state of creativity.
Yeah.
So I know we have some guests that are coming up that will help to unlock some of those blocks
Yeah.
and show our friends and community
Yeah.
how to do it, how to be able to wean out all of the noise that life brings to us and sit in and being a practitioner or at least someone who wants to subscribe and get on the journey to
Yeah.
find my best
Yeah.
self
Yeah.
and what can help me to
Yeah.
be my best self along the way.
And I like that because what you're saying, you cannot, number one, you can't do it alone.
That's right.
You cannot do it alone. And one thing that I love to always encourage, can't tell you to do it, but as a therapist, I encourage you to seek counsel because the Bible tells us that, that there is safety
That's right.
in the multitude of counsel. And so when you, God, listen, there ain't nothing wrong with going to get counseling.
Mm,
God works through people. And so, all of us have something that we are passionate about. All of us have something that we are passionate about. And we are passionate, some people are passionate about counseling. And so they have gone to school, they have gotten their degrees, and they are mental health counselors, trauma therapists, psychotherapists. And so, guess what? There's nothing wrong with you if you say, I need to go get some counseling. You
absolutely
know,
not.
that's
Not
the
at
smartest thing that you can do.
That's right.
When you're getting ready to go buy a house, when you're getting ready to make a life change, you're not just going to go and just buy a house. No, you're going to go get some counseling. When you get ready to go buy a car, you don't just go buy a car. You go and sit down with, the salesman, and you're
right.
going to get some information. you know, First of all, that's what you're going to do. So why wouldn't you go get counseling about your mental health? Why won't you go get counseling about your marriage? Why won't
That's
you go get counseling about your family matters or whatever it
right.
is that you need to get counseling in? Because I think that our God knew, He knew the value. He
Absolutely.
knew when He created us that we will run into snags along the way.
Absolutely.
He knew that.
Hmm.
And so he knew, that's why he put it in the word for you to seek counseling.
Ain't he the best content creator?
Yes, he is. He is the
Yes.
best content
Yes.
creator.
Nobody else created content better
Yeah.
than him.
So when you
Yeah.
go and get counseling,
Mm-hmm.
that is the very smart thing to do. And especially in our community, because we think that counseling is for crazy people. And it ain't nothing wrong with me. That's the
Yeah.
first thing we say.
That
But there is something wrong
is. Yeah.
because when you are not getting the life you feel you deserve, when you feel like you are hitting a glass wall, you know,
Hmm.
you need counseling. How to get
Hmm.
over, get under, or get
Around.
along the side that wall.
Yeah.
So counseling is incredible. To piggyback off Jay, what you said. And I don't
Sure.
mind
And
going.
next week, to let the cat out of the bag, we have someone that will be in that
We are.
field
Yes, we are.
to help give us
Yes,
some best practices
yes, yes.
around
Yeah,
counseling, mental health, and
yeah,
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 getting some wellness prescriptions and seeking
Yeah.
advice. So I love that you talked about that. So
Yeah.
do we have any, I know our
Our
creative
guest came
producer is
back.
back with us. And I think there was just one thing that I had I have a few questions, but I'm just going to ask the one to Bucci
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
we prepare to close out.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about we hear the words look good, feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that as I looked at some of the videos of the women that were wearing your attire,
Mm-hmm.
there was such a glow around them.
Mm-hmm.
How is
Mhm.
it that you connect your artistry to helping women feel whole and confident in your brand?
Mhm.
That's interesting that you even bring that up. I've had clients that I've made specialty outfits for weddings, or just
Wow.
for an event.
I think she.
Yeah, she might have dropped out again.
Mhm. 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 Well, I
Yeah,
thank you guys for watching. Like we said, you know,
absolutely.
technical difficulty. I think that in some places and in some spaces, we are getting a storm. I know prior to, let's say, coming on here, the winds had got very, very, very heavy. And so I don't know if that storm moved along or whatever, you know, it is, but I'm pretty sure she'll go out of there. But, you
Yes.
know, I
We'll
would
have to
love
have her back on
we
again,
have to have
as
her back on again, and we have to finish our conversation, you know, with her. And you know, maybe perhaps this time I would love to have some once we learn how to, let's say, work this, we have to
Mhm.
have her pictures up and have some pictures of her product, you know, up. But guys, we will once we post this chat, we will definitely put her email address and some information up that you can get in contact with her as she is working on, let's say, her website. But I definitely would like to put up some information, put up perhaps some places that she will be, let's say, she will be in and selling her products, because she goes all over the tri-state, let's say, vending. So it was an amazing night, guys. We had a great topic. And, you know, sometimes we will go over, you know, our scheduled time, but that's okay because we started late tonight due to technical difficulties, but that's okay. We power through. And just like anything in life, you know what? We may have some blocks, but we power through. And that's exactly what we did tonight. We powered through. So until next time, you guys have an amazing night on purpose. And remember, guys, get creative doing something. If you stop coloring, if you stop whatever it is that you love to do, you know, you love going fishing or whatever it is that you like to do, pick that back up. Pick it back up, because it reduces stress. It helps, you know, with your mental health. It puts you really in a good and amazing space. So listen, pick it back up. Pick up your creativity. Pick it back up. Get busy, and be inspired. Listen, if it means you going to a conference or going to a show or getting out and among people and networking, you know, plant yourself in the right soil. Plant yourself in the right soil. Get around the right people that can spark that creativity, and ask God to reunite a fire in you. I pray that God light the match again so that you can laugh again, that you could design again, pick up your book, whether you're writing a book or maybe you were working on a project and you put it down. Pick it back up again and let God ignite that fire, because what you have, the world is waiting for it. The world needs to hear from you. They need your fire to be sparked again. You are what they are praying for. Somebody out here is praying for your gift. They are literally praying for it. So we are praying for you that you pick it back up and fall back in love again. So you guys have a good night.
Good night,
Have a good
everyone.
night. Good night. Good night.
Good night.